Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HIMediaTV. I'm your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and welcome back to another chapter in my little black book. So today, I want to talk to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, specifically about what's going on in the House. So currently at this moment, in the House of Representatives, there is currently a back and forth on the spending bill. And said spending bill is unfortunately being held up by a couple key things. One, the Republicans really want to keep DHS funding. They really want to keep letting ICE run rampant. They really want to let ICE keep doing all of the evil Gestapo-esque brown shirt things that they are doing. Terrorizing American communities, arresting American citizens and law-abiding, residents, all of that shit, right? And, to their credit, some Democrats, not all, see what I said earlier yesterday in yesterday's little black book about the complicity of the media and the Democratic Party, about them actually not truly believing that democracy is the way forward, and they're just trying to be the good stewards of the end of, liberal democracy. But, to some of their credit, some of the Democrats are at least trying to do a little bit of resistance, which, If I as a father expect my teenage son to take his underwear off the dining room table, and he actually does it, and he never does anything, I guess I'm actually happy at least a little bit about that. Would never mind thinking about the fact that every time I've asked him to take out the fucking garbage, I end up doing it at midnight because it stank. Whatever. Point is that is one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is a demand that the Clintons testify on in regards to said into the Epstein files, which is very funny because I think that the Clinton political dynasty, ever since Hillary Clinton lost in 2016, the Clintons have lost all political relevancy in the minds of the American voters. That's and it's all and granted they didn't lose it immediately, but over the last 10 years they have become politically irrelevant, and Bill Clinton's sex pestery has become, frankly, a fucking liability. It is a liability. And pretending that it's not is, a exercise in, delusion. So, frankly, the politically smart move would be to, Congress subpoena the Clintons and say, no, you have to show up under threat of a contempt of Congress charge. But again, they will not do that because, Bill Clinton is the darling that hypothetically brought the Democratic Party back from irrelevancy, and also all of the people in power right now, who are the architects, of the current state of the corporatist Democratic Party, owe their careers to the groundwork that third way democratism, led to. It's the bedrock of so many of their careers. That's why you have Alan Dershowitz, and you have all of these other shitty, Washington, consultants and politicians. Nancy Pelosi, her entire career was based off of the, was based off of that. She was, I think she was the first woman Speaker of the House or something, and she got to be that because of, Bill Clinton, setting the tone for the Democratic Party for the 21st century. And unfortunately, despite the fact that, the Clintons at this point are frankly considered by the base, and probably by the American people at large across party lines, as a political fucking liability, the powers that be still want to protect them, still want to, don't want to deal with it because it's political favoritism. Like, the Clintons have inordinate amounts of power, despite the fact that they do fuck all. So, the smart move would be to subpoena Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, make them testify in front of Congress, and if they don't show up, contempt of Congress charge. Easy. But no, fucking Democrats are trying and Republicans are negotiating the terms in which Bill Clinton will be in front of Congress to answer questions about this shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is a level of favoritism that wouldn't exist for you and me. If I got a fucking summons to Congress, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to call off work. Not only am I gonna have to call off work, I'm gonna have to, travel down to fucking Washington, D.C., rent a fucking shitty motel room because I'm poor as shit and I can't afford it. And I'm gonna have to spend, 8 hours a day answering questions from, octogenarian assholes who don't know how to use a fucking email. I don't know. It's frustrating. It is a level of frustrating that I very, very much have difficulty, coming to terms with without, patently crashing the fuck out. But I digress. That's where we are. It's DHS funding. There are a handful of Democrats yelling and screaming about Medicaid cuts, but the Democrats have already, lost that, and obviously Chuck Schumer has already thrown us under the bus just by virtue of the fact that, a Senate deal was passed whatsoever. I don't know. It feels, I expected Chuck Schumer to be, a cuck for Wall Street, because all of those bankers will call him and say, you need to get this government shut down, you need to get the government open, damn anything, I don't care about your initiatives, you do what we tell you, and he does it because he's a good little dog. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. This has been another episode of my little black book, a chapter closed. I want to die, but we persist. Thank y'all so much for listening. If you liked this episode, consider joining our Discord. I've got a really cool Discord community that I'd love to have you be a part of. Link in the description down below. Anyways, have a wonderful rest of your day. This has been HIMediaTV. I have been your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and I will see you guys next time.